You think by now that AI automations would be simpler. You drag, you drop, you connect the nodes, done, your AI agent is working. But even the best AI no-code tools still leave founders stuck halfway, wondering which node connects where, what does these secret keys mean, how to connect this, how to authenticate that. So when I saw n8n's new AI agent builder, potentially promising to do all of that for me as a non-technical founder, I had to test it to see if it finally got it right, or if it's just another almost.
Hey, I'm Johnny Null. I spent years building businesses the old hard way, managing teams, scaling operations, and doing everything manually. Today, everything I built, from automations and no-code infrastructures to fully AI SaaS products, has AI helping in one way or another. Firstly, let me quickly show you this. In South Africa, we call this a braai. I build with AI tools that, in my opinion, anyone can learn to use. My mission is simple: to help creators, entrepreneurs, and business owners get clarity with AI. Let's build smarter together and enjoy this video.
Alright guys, so this is what the new interface looks like once you've signed into your n8n account. You just go to create a workflow, and then you can either choose add a step manually or build with AI. So when you click build with AI, there's two areas. There's ask AI anything. This is, again, let's say you're struggling when you're doing something manually, or then going to build and asking the AI to build for you. Now there's multiple different examples of what n8n can do, but for the sake of this video, I want to give it a real challenge. We're looking to look at what content is doing well from our competitors and see how we can pull all of that data down into a spreadsheet, and from there start to make the content better on our side. Now, looking at that, let's see what we can do here. So let's say I want to create YouTube content analyzer. The analyzer would need to be able to pull the competitor videos, performance metrics, the title, and the transcript. I want to be able to paste a YouTube video link, and the analyzer should be able to provide me with this output to a Google Sheet.
Sometimes all it takes is a clear framework to make AI feel human again. Simple, structured, and useful. Inside of our AI school community, you'll find the full curriculum, workshops, prompt vault, and private access to our upcoming beta apps, all built to help founders integrate AI without the overwhelm. Experience how clarity and design turns into confidence in execution with AI.
The analyzer should use ChatGPT model 4.0 to transcribe each episode, each video. I'll copy that. So let's see what it can start off doing. So currently we can see that the agents are thinking. Very similar to what we have with all of these updated softwares, moving a bit more to a agentic infrastructure, not fully autonomous yet like you have with Replit. I must say they're leading the market when it comes down to Lang infrastructures and autonomous workflows where agents communicate with one another and really give you a good output, where it also resolves all of its bugs. It adds all of the information. We really don't have to do anything, which is fantastic. I see this as the first step where it is at right now. It's not fully autonomous yet. It really helps a lot with saving time. But what I will also do is I will confirm that to Gumloop. I'm not sure if you guys have used Gumloop before, but I moved over from n8n before this now launched to Gumloop because of this agentic infrastructure. They are also very sophisticated with it, and the interface is much more user-friendly and easier to manage from a technical standpoint. I'm not technically sound. I honestly dislike tech, specifically when it comes down to creating credentials. You see, client ID, secret ID, all of these things. It's like a continuous manual setup, which is extremely frustrating. So if there's a way where it can store it, like Replit, for example, has got secret keys, where you go and you add all of your keys in and it saves everything. I would say that needs to connect there as well. Okay, so yeah, we will need to add those in. Now, just to save us some time, let's run this on Gumloop as well and see the way that it provides us with an output in comparison to the workflow provided here. But I mean, this is good. It saves time, but there's so many templates out there as well. You can just drop a template in here. You will still, the headache comes in when it comes down to automations. It's these credentials and it's the output quality within the logic. If the output is not good, it's not helpful. Then, you spend a lot of time on this unnecessarily. And we can see, again, how good is this? It's reasoning with itself. It gives me a form of output, and it also tells me already where it starts to see some potential challenges. So it rewrited the prompt, and this prompt is now helping itself to provide a better output. Now it's going in and finding all the relevant integrations here, and you guys can also see this interface is very slick. It's very, very more user friendly than what you would have with n8n. Now n8n is great in my opinion if you are quite technically sound, or if you have a automation expert on your team that can easily and quickly execute. However, though, there's a lot of fine-tuning that's still involved. And as we can see, we will still need to add the credentials. And this you will need to do everywhere else, where you still need to get the credentials. The challenge becomes setting this up. So if you need to go into your Google console, find all of this, then that's a lot of time. If you're a founder building with AI, you want to have efficiency. You want to be able to do stuff like this much quicker and be able to move forward efficiently. Now we're looking for something where you can basically just double click and it can sign in through Google or sign in through your email address, and then it pulls all of that details and information for you already. Let's see what Gumloop is coming up here with. As you guys can see, it does all of this by itself. It does edit everything by itself. There's a lot happening here that I think n8n can definitely take some insights on. It's great, but again, there's this big gap, this big breach between user simplicity and users technicality that one can't really connect easily. So you always need to get someone to come and do that. And if you're looking to build a one-person business, specifically in this AI era, those are not things you want to be sitting and struggling with. As we can already see here, how good does this look, right? We can just basically add the link here. If we look at n8n, this is a manual trigger. We still need to set up everything here. It's not giving me the exact component. Let's move that into the model. Let's say the model is not connected. Now where do I paste the YouTube link for the video to analyze? With Gumloop, it's still busy here, but we can see it's testing its own setup. It's ensuring that everything makes sense and that we can actually use it much quicker. You see the problem that I'm seeing that we could run in here. And again, this is not a bad thing. The majority of the problems are solvable with n8n. It's just the time that needs to go in this with the technical know-how. So it's telling me here that it removed the API, well, the OpenAI model, because YouTube's API already provides the transcription directly. But what it doesn't understand is the context, right? If YouTube provides you a transcription, there's a lot of times people put the transcription option off, where you can't take the transcription, where that will become a problem, right? So now you maybe added your YouTube credentials, you've connected your Google Sheets, but now we're getting that problem. And it's also fixed the URL input field. Again, this is not time to go troubleshoot and work this out. It's still not giving us, and it's asking us to add the credentials, which I understand, but let's get the steps right. I wonder if it can take this entire workflow into consideration. So let's say based on my current workflow, how would you suggest I add a YouTube video link to pull the transcription from and analyze the content form? Okay, it's searching into its own database, still searching into its own database. I wonder if it's taking this entire workflow into consideration. Based on your current workflow, you're already structured. Okay, good, right. Yeah, but still, this is not helpful. All right, let's look at Gumloop, where it's currently at. It's giving me the details here: title, like count, other metrics, view count, comment count, video URL ID. Yeah, let's continue with that. Again, you can also look at the code here, and if you're quite tech savvy, you can adjust that as you see fit. Let's open up a reasoning model so you guys can also see how it reasons, right? So it's basically communicating with other agents on the back end, and it's configuring that it's picking that up. Now it's telling itself to go and configure the YouTube video details, and then it goes into that node being created. And as we can see here on the right hand side, that's all being created for us. Again, with n8n, I wouldn't say we're stuck, but I mean, there's going to be a lot of testing that's still involved here and a lot of work in order to just get one transcript. And I mean, if I'm looking at the sheets here, it hasn't mapped out the sheet for me. And with Gumloop, it does that for you as well. You basically will be able to track all of that in the sheet. It's testing itself. Again, it's confirming that it's working. There's still a lot of manual labor involved with this process, even though it can create a workflow for you. Like I said, there's so many templates out there. They're not really solving the problem to create these workflows. There's a lot, and they themselves have a lot of templates. The problem comes with the configuration and also the troubleshooting. If they can't have agentic infrastructures that can troubleshoot these nodes, troubleshoot the workflow, and make it much simpler for the user to utilize, from my understanding, companies like Gumloop, they will take lead with the AI automations purely for those reasons. Now we can see it connected to Google Sheets Writer. And what I like about this is it also takes it and it connects it directly to the workflow. So let's say continue. Alright guys, so now it's basically telling me I just need to add a Google Sheets link, and then we can just configure exactly what that looks like. And it pulled everything in from the link, and I can just say let's use that link, let's continue, and then it goes and it maps out everything for us on that sheet. Again, that's not necessarily something that we'll be able to execute as efficiently with n8n. As we can see here, it's currently connecting all the data to the Google Sheets Writer by mapping each column and source. For example, we didn't have to go in and do that ourselves. It does it for us, and it also connects it inside of this entire automation flow. Alright, Gumloop is now done, so let's say run workflow. Okay, so now it picked up there was a challenge with the YouTube node. Now, even though I didn't add the link, this is what we're currently getting, which is great. It's currently reasoning with itself and ensuring that we can bring something that works into the workflow. Something I also like about Gumloop is that it creates the nodes. It literally codes these nodes. It's not just a drag and drop, choose a node, and then you're sitting with these limitations. If you've got the APIs and if you've got the MCPs, you can connect the servers and you can connect all of that through the process. While it's busy, you can add webhooks, you can add different triggers, and you can add an interface. Similar to OpenAI's SDK, as an example. Now, you don't necessarily just have the automations that you're running on the back end, but if you need to create something for your clients, this is also something that could be done, and you could have a front end for that. So while it's still busy troubleshooting here, let me show you another scraper we created for Instagram, just so that you can understand the nodes and how the structure and the infrastructure works. So here you can see very similar. You add the Instagram profile. We want 50 results, no longer than a year. Then it goes into transcribing the reel. It combines all the text. It also then takes what it transcribed, it moves it over to Google Sheets. Here we go. And then from there, it analyzes the content and it gives me an analysis based on that. So there you have it, guys. So while we are looking at the new feature that dropped for n8n, I do think though that it's still a bit premature, specifically with the speed of how AI and all these companies are coming up and resolving problems for the users. And it's strange because n8n is popular. I do believe that they have the infrastructure and the funds to hire the right people to build these infrastructures to help communicate with agents, to resolve these problems for their users and connect all of the information for the users on the user's behalf.
You made it to the end. That already says a lot about how you build. Before you go, drop a like, share what you've been working on, and keep building. Don't forget, your invitation to join the school community is waiting for when you're ready to go deeper down in the description below. See you inside.